Disclaimer: this video is not meant for a young audience. There are dirty jokes, dark humor, bad language, and content unfit for kids.
So in case you haven't noticed, I've been a bit obsessed with the Harry Potter games the last year or so. You could call it a bit of a hyperfixation right now if you want to. So I thought that the first platinum trophy I would try to ever achieve is for the Harry Potter Lego games, years 1 through 7. I'm going to be playing the PS3 version, so not the remastered version for the PS4. The goal is to get 100% of all 7 years, so going through story mode and then going back for all the free play. Getting all the characters, gold bricks, students in peril, etc. is required to get all the platinum trophies. So we start the story with a senile old man who confuses a normal cat with the animagus form of someone who is a friend and who has been a colleague for decades. After that, a man that's definitely over the weight limit for a motorcycle crashes, somehow not waking the neighborhood, that pulls a baby out of from I don't know where. And he's not hurt at all. He's not squished, he's not crying. So the three adults leave the baby on a doorstep in the first week of November in England, most likely the day after Halloween, and so it's already going to be pretty freaking cold then. Hypothermia? Yeah, definite. So that is child abuse, Dumbledore, strike one. After that, you get a daily view of Harry's life of servitude for his relatives, his abusive aunt and uncle, and his little bit of a demonic cousin. When he first gets his letter, or should I say when he gets his first letter, it shows why he isn't a Ravenclaw, by trying to catch letters from the sky instead of picking one up from the ground. I think Hogwarts staff would know something was up with the hundreds of letters sent to this one student's house. I mean, that's so much wasted paper. How much of their annual budget went to letters for this one student? After that, they escape to an island because his uncle just can't handle all the owls. A big man, a stranger, shows up and says he's going to take him on a journey, and Harry just accepts it. I mean, I guess taking your chance of possibly getting kidnapped by a man who apparently shouldn't even use magic is better than living with the Dursleys. After that, we finally start the gameplay by running around stealing patrons' loose change in the leaky cauldron. Thank you for the sickles. After that, we run into Daenerys in a fantasy crossover. After redecorating some of the leaky cauldron, we find our first house crest for the basic bitch house, Gryffindor. After that, we finally see Diagon Alley for the first time and proceed to break the law in broad daylight by using a broken wand in our umbrella after expulsion. I mean, I know it's broken, but shouldn't there still be some kind of trace on it? I don't know. Plot hole? We help our first student in peril. If he got up there, shouldn't he be able to get down? Whatever. We start our saving people thing young. We then become domestic terrorists by using ice cream and a spider to make an explosion during the back-to-school shopping rush. We enter the bank, which is run by a warrior race, to destroy their lobby and steal their gold, and nobody tries to hit us with an axe, so I guess yay? After running around like lunatics, stealing all their galleons, we finally get help from a disgruntled goblin who doesn't only not question why Harry or a legal guardian doesn't have possession of his own key, but also clearly doesn't have a career in illustrating children's books. And with that, we have our first true wizard success. Harry sees his vault full of gold and doesn't question why he hasn't been able to use it to escape his abusive home. You're not even gonna be like, oh wow, I didn't know I had all this, and Hagrid doesn't think that's a red flag or anything. Sure, whatever. So with that, we finish our first level and get a pretty good paycheck for our efforts, and 3 gold bricks. Now that we have our first quest in story mode done, we finally meet the Weasleys, including Percy, who looks like he's a golden girl in training, who for some fucking reason is using the Muggle entrance. It's definitely a setup. After meeting Percy, the 5th golden girl, you meet one of the most useless wizards in one Ronald Bilius, along with his stalker, Ginny. After Harry gets sorted into Gryffindor versus Slytherin, Percy, the Golden Girl, takes us onto a trip to show us how the stairs are the first death trap you will encounter in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You only see 4 beds in the dormitory. Hey Dean, does Seamus just not exist in this game? Guess we gotta have our token black characters, so yay? After bullying our housemates for a minute, we get our first character, named Gryffindor Boy? Alright, I guess. A win's a win. We follow Nearly Headless Nick and his ghost gold as if he's leaving little candies for us to follow that disappears like leprechaun gold. In order to get to our first class, we have to release a pet that isn't an option on the supply list for a list of familiars. Because we're Weasleys, and we are sycophants of Dumbledore's. We get special privileges. We find a lock that can only be opened by summoning Jacksepticeye's mascot, Septiceye Sam. In our first class of charms, we again see why Ron is an incompetent wizard by hanging his peers from the ceiling, so naturally Hermione has to take over and fix the boys' issues. Also in our charms class, we see yet another goblin who has no future as a children's book illustrator. Yet again, we release the mass murder into a school full of children in order to proceed with our lessons. And then it's Halloween, and we chase after the troll Quirrell released, with the help of Harry's parents' murderer, yet again. With the help of the rat and a portrait that helped us cross-dress, we finally get to the bathroom to find not only Hermione, but a troll that takes a monster shit that definitely killed at least one ecosystem. After we save Hermione and officially become the Golden Trio, we go back to Leaky Cauldron, Diagon Alley, to shop. First, we go to Madame Malkin's to participate in human trafficking. We visit Wiseacre's Wizarding Supplies to learn some new spells to bully my classmates with. We went to Gringotts for a bonus level to get 100,000 monies. How do I drive? I can't get into any vehicles. So after trying that for a few minutes, I decided that I should probably continue my education and not drop out of school at 11 years old. After I decided to continue my education, we have our first potions lesson, where Snape has a random cat in the potions classroom to contaminate every single ingredient, apparently, I guess. We learn a potion to help us hulk up with the help of a basilisk, I guess? After we officially become strong men at age 11, we go to Herbology to learn how to become an eco-terrorist, while the students wear 3D glasses until Ron gets kidnapped by the planes, trying to exercise self-defense. For some reason, there are train tracks from Minecraft in the greenhouse. Not a crossover that would make sense, but okay. After successfully saving their useless friend we call Ron, our first flying lesson, he gets a concussion, and Neville almost dies. How old are these brooms? Because, I understand Hermione not being able to ride it that well, but goddamn, because Hermione really struggles here. After that, Oliver Wood and Professor McGonagall walk up on us and sees a slow-mo repeat of Harry catching the Remembrall. After I'm forced to be on the Quidditch team, I fix the covered bridge because the school can't afford repairs for infrastructure. Kind of like Colorado and their streets. After I escape the falling apart bridge, I start helping Hagrid with his crops. And I put together the rock where Hermione will deck Draco in a couple years. We get our first Weasley character, sabotage the Slytherin's brooms, and who is this a big poster of? Anyway, we also get our first person on the Quidditch team, which, getting all the Weasleys and all the Quidditch team later on will be an achievement, or a trophy, I guess, because this is the PlayStation version and not on Steam. But we do our good deed for the day and support a small business with making popcorn. Support your local small business today, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, because there are more platinums to come. The embodiment of gluttony and greed, Ron, focuses on students that have food instead of his bestie, who is doing his first game ever, even though he hasn't had any practice and didn't know what Quidditch was until this morning. Hermione finally goes to set Snape on fire like the adorable little psycho she is. So for this level, I'm gonna have to come back twice. Once to get the True Wizard, and once to complete it under 5 minutes for achievements. After our first Quidditch match, oh my god, we're all bald and wearing Santa hats. Oh my god, guys, are you okay? Even Nick is wearing a Santa hat. Oh my god, the little icons in the corners have the Santa hats too. Anyway, enough about the Santa hats, even though all the students are wearing them. Why is Dumbledore, our local senile old man, just waiting for me by the common room door? That's a little stalkerish. Harry finally gets a family heirloom returned to him and shakes his ass. The Potters definitely could have used that to hide that Halloween night, but I guess Dumbledore had research to do about the Deathly Hallows. The funniest thing about this year so far is that when Harry wears the invisibility cloak, he walks around like an old Victorian lady clutching her robe to her. In the spirit of Christmas, we return to our terroristic tendencies and explode the door to follow Dumbledore, who was nice enough to wait for us to catch up. It is 2.5 hours in for my gameplay where I finally get my first trophy by turning off the music and muting sounds in the library. I already knew about this from watching somebody else platinum this game. I needed to get one for the serotonin, so this was the easiest one to do. Hermione kissing Ron's cheek in the Mirror of Erised, that's definitely not what he saw. And as his Christmas gift to both Harry and Ron, Dumbledore gives 2 11-year-olds heart attacks, and he doesn't deduct points for breaking curfew because of favoritism. After an exciting Christmas, the trio goes to Hagrid's to reveal a unicorn with a fever. The trio, Hagrid, Fang, and Draco, go to the Forbidden Forest, proving again that Hagrid should not be responsible for children. Oh my god, this poor bastard in peril. How long have you been there for? Also, Hermione has a book, apparently? We save Harry from a hooded figure that looks like he's trying to replicate the makeup from Kiss. The band, I mean. After that, we get our second trophy for getting Nick's little ghost pellet things. To round off the year, we follow Quirrell into Fluffy's bedroom, and Ron tries a trombone? Why does he have a trombone? Where'd you get that from? How can you afford that? Those are expensive. Anyway, he has a trombone solo until Hermione smacks him. How did the student in peril get down here? Dude, you gotta start bringing a broom so you can escape from places. Anyway, Ron fucking trips and gets left behind, which honestly is probably for the best. After that, we're in hell suddenly, while we're trying to get a painted chicken nugget stuck in a mirror. But we do get an achievement for finishing the first year and beating Valdi, as well as keeping the chicken nugget safe. Harry wakes up to see Dumbledore watching Quirrell sleep like the voyeur that he is, and then takes a stone and does something with it. I don't know, does he eat it? Does he give it back to the Flamels? What does he do? And with that, the first year is complete for the story mode, and I am 13% done with the whole game. May Taylor Swift bless me. We begin our second year with our relatives lecturing Harry about underage magic. When we go upstairs to our room, a Play-Doh potato helps make our lives even more hellish than it already was by stealing our letters. And honestly, did none of the Dursleys' neighbors have any concerns about the bars on his window? I mean, I know they said he goes to St. Brutus for criminally insane boys or whatever the name is, but come on, there's gotta be at least one other mom in that neighborhood that is a little bit concerned. For once, Ron was actually a good friend, which surprised Hedwig so much that she passed out. On our first trip to the Burrow, we have fun by abusing garden gnomes, getting paid for it, and then not offering any of it to the Weasleys. And the whole time, Ginny's being a creep with hearts above her head. Ah, I love my fans. We also get the first section of our first crest for year 2, starting out strong. I have expected there to be a student peril in the Weasley sofa. I don't know how they would have explained that, but I wouldn't have questioned it that much. On their back-to-school shopping trip, Harry fucks up and ends up being in Nocturne Alley and interacting with a hand that resembles Dumbledore's hand in 6th year. Foreshadowing? We finally make it to the bookstore and creepy Lockhart sees us and tries to take a picture of us, while Lucius puts a very obvious Chamber of Secrets journal in Ginny's cauldron. I mean, I get that there weren't any voices in this game, but come on. After Ron and Harry fail to get through the barrier to platform 9 3/4, instead of waiting for Arthur and Molly to return, or I don't know, sending an owl to the school, they take the flying Fort Anglia, which Ron has the key to for some reason. But we get to the school and we get another member of the Quidditch team. Of our first Herbology lesson of the year, Professor Sprout willingly destroys some of the cilia in our ears so we can go prematurely deaf. Great teachers, definitely not neglectful at all. Also, Harry holding a baby as far away from him as possible is very relatable. We have our first ever Transfiguration class, and holy shit, Neville, I'd faint too if I saw that coming at me. We have our first data class with our second fraud of our school career, where he teaches us how to kill pixies. Never thought I'd learn anything from Lockhart, but, you know, it just becomes helpful later in the game, so that's good. After I save all my classmates from another one of Dumbledore's failures, we find some spiders moving around. They lead us to a message on the wall with a petrified Mrs. Norris. And oh god, between Colin, Ginny, and Lockhart's second year really was the year of the stalkers, wasn't it? Also, he has a second close call to death in a Quidditch game. Honestly, after that, I would have just quit, no matter what McGonagall said. We have another scene where Hermione has to go under the Quidditch stands to save Harry, and she tries to kill Dobby before Bellatrix ever can. Lockhart finally notices a fellow celebrity that he wants to schmooze off of is in danger and about to die, so he runs away from the presumably underage students he was flirting with. But after all that, we do get Dobby character, so I guess it was worth it in the end. We have our first human petrification victim, but Ron doesn't care, he only cares about the dueling club. At the dueling club, Draco summons a snake that I shyly befriend and gain the Parseltongue ability. Oh, this is a fun one. Using our Parseltongue ability, the Golden Trio goes into the dungeons, where none of the Slytherins down there seem to care that there are 3 Gryffindor interlopers. We sneak to the potions classroom to learn how to make Polyjuice Potion, aka commit identity fraud. Harry, Ron, and Hermione commit crime by conspiring to drug some students. The boys wear hats of hair while Hermione becomes the Wizarding World's first furry. Ron and Harry determine that Draco isn't the heir because Slytherin's portrait doesn't match the image on Draco's broom, apparently. Afterwards, Hermione walks around and picks up some litter from the bathroom, and then gets petrified like an idiot. So Ron and Harry go to Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, and she proceeds to flirt with us by throwing stuff at us, all because Ron doesn't know how to tiptoe. But he gets a book thrown at him, which is what he deserves. After we finally grab the diary, we see a vision of Tom Riddle's earliest transgressions against Hogwarts. Anyway, after like half an hour, I had to restart the level and fight Myrtle again. Then I realized I didn't mess up. I'm just dumb. I finally get my sports-enhancing steroids along with a couple parts of a crest. Tom shows Hagrid meditating on Aragog's chest, him being chased out, then our stalker again. Now it's time for Ron's favorite part, following the spiders, which nobody else seems concerned about. And wait, Hermione was petrified. Why is she here again? What is going on? A game? How did nobody catch this? Anyway, I got my first Ron character, who's actually a good friend in Chamber of Secrets. Dumbledore, Malfoy, and Fudge visit Hagrid, and Dumbledore doesn't even try to prevent himself, nor Hagrid, from having to go. Ron and Harry, being tween boys with no self-preservation instincts, decide to go into the Forbidden Forest at night because an adult told them to. an adult that is many times bigger than they are, even though their only other experience in the forest was a bad one. This is why girls live longer. The two of them meet Aragog, and Harry shows him a couple Polaroids of Muggleborns, as if he know who they are. We defeat him by throwing his children back at him. The Ford Anglia shows up, and a random motorcycle that I guess it was having an affair with as well. I don't know, maybe Sirius' motorcycle was hanging around, who knows. We escape from the forest, and the boys immediately visit Hermione, who is petrified again, and find out about the basilisk. They run into some teachers gossiping and learn that Ginny has been taken, and that Lockhart is as brave as a white man being forced to face the consequences of his actions. I actually had to look this part up. This is a plunger. In my defense, it was past my bedtime when I did this level. We eventually get the sink working, Harry using his hissing skill as well as necromancy. That snake skin is gross. We finally enter the Chamber of Secrets and Lockhart gives himself a factory reset. I don't remember writing that down. Ron is left to deal with him while I save my stalker. Fox brings a turd and blinds the big boy snake, while Harry just kind of puts his hands on Ginny's temples. Oh my god, Salazar's little hat. We take a Mario pipe and try and jump around the snake. Again, the PlayStation 3 version was glitchy, and so I end up stabbing an invisible basilisk and get my next trophy. Ginny gets her revenge, and Harry destroys the first Horcrux. And you definitely know Dumbledore knew what it was immediately. And yet he said nothing to any authorities like Amelia Bones or anything. We hitch a ride and meet up with the headmaster. Lucius Malfoy comes in and we trick him into freeing Dobby. Hermione wakes up again, and we have an awkward yet cute reunion for our golden trio. Our second year ends, we go to Malkin's to get some more characters, and it's time for third year. We once again start at the Dursleys, where Aunt Marge is visiting, making Harry mad, and he runs away. He walks along the street and sees a dog on some playground equipment, then promptly almost gets run over by a bus, because he wasn't paying attention, and again, this is why girls live longer. But in his defense, if I saw a dog on playground equipment, I too would stare for a moment. We make it to the Leaky Cauldron safely, where, without preamble, we learn about Sirius Black. Like, Arthur Weasley just came up as like, hey, this guy, he led Voldemort to killing your parents. We fight a killer book that's more beast than book, while Arthur cowers and the book literally eats our ass, because no adults can be trusted to help us. We go to King's Cross, where Draco is living out his Red Dead Redemption fantasies and is trying to steal the train. Molly runs up to the train holding a terrorist like a baby and literally yeets him at Ron. Honestly, love Molly in this moment. We find a compartment that has our Defense Against the Dark Arts professor for the year. Okay, they kind of look adorable sitting like that, not gonna lie. Harry runs away from the Dementor, and then Lupin jumped up off the wall to go chase after him, because apparently, even as a werewolf in his 30s with achy joints, he's good at parkour. The most ridiculous part about this section is that when Ron pulls out Scabbers, Lupin doesn't recognize him, because even though he spent at least 5 years with that rat form, he just doesn't even know, doesn't even recognize him, nor does his nose, what? Anyway, I got stuck and Hermione got kissed, so whoops. I kind of want to play as a Dementor. Those character models look super sick for a Lego. But we do find Harry and we get to school safely. It's feast time now, so why are all these animals allowed in here? That includes Ron. We have our first defense lesson and we learn about boggarts. Alternatively, we also learn about drag. And with that, I get my first character of third year. A station guard for the train station, apparently? Okay. I would have preferred a Dementor, but I guess I need it for the trophy, so here we are. After learning about the wonderful world of drag, we have our first divination class with yet another one of Dumbledore's failures. But during divination, we do see one of the only black characters in the series, the guy that definitely earned his entire paycheck in the movie. You know the scene I'm talking about. And oh my god, the clock tower is absolute chaos, but we solved some puzzles and got a gold brick for our efforts, and we saved a student in peril. This poor motherfucker. Was the troll security guard in the books? I've only read the books once, so I don't remember. We have a Care of Magical Creatures class at night for some reason, and we meet Buckbeak, who we have to do a scavenger hunt for. But I do unlock Buckbeak handling. After getting tossed on the hippogriff from said hippogriff, Draco yeets some meat at Buckbeak, and gets scared and promptly blames someone else who isn't himself. I mean, to be fair, he does look like he genuinely wanted to befriend him, but he went about it the wrong way, so I do feel for him here. After that disaster of a lesson, we go to our first ever Hogsmeade trip, courtesy of our favorite twins. Wreck me your favorite twins, Mighty Fix. They then return another family heirloom. Jesus Christ, that massive snowman is actually terrifying. We find Rosebud. Yeah, that's how sleds work. We see some Jamaican heads hanging from the 3 broomsticks. Question it, but then become a Victorian lady again. We go inside and see some Dementors having a drink, I guess? Okay. The depiction of the muggles exploding and baby Harry being only half the size of an adult is sending me. One night, Harry can't sleep, so he's looking at the Marauders map in bed. He sees a dead man, and instead of telling someone, we follow him. I get confused, have to find a walkthrough, and Ron actually becomes useful to deal with the boggart. It took me like 20 minutes here before I decided to finally look it up. But I did find one of my favorite Weasleys. For some reason here, Snape looked really constipated, and blinds our poor little eyes. And here I officially got my first red brick thanks to Hedwig. It took me so long to figure out that's what it was for, but I got there in the end, so I can now use bonuses. I finally learn Expecto Patronum, but first Scabbers runs through the Defense Against the Dark Arts class where Lupin still doesn't recognize him. On our way to Buckbeak's execution, things start flying at us, and Hagrid, as oblivious as ever, doesn't realize that Harry became the Scarecrow. In all the chaos, Padfoot grabs Ron's toe and kidnaps him through the tree. We get to the Shrieking Shack and see Ron following after his mother by holding Scabbers like a baby. Why is there a wanted poster in here? That's such a random place for that to be. We decide to be a little morbid and make a massive rat trap, which is frankly hilarious. Sirius explains what happens that night, and Lupin becomes a bipedal werewolf wearing a suit. Padfoot gets wrecked, but Lupin hears a mating call and swaggers off, letting Harry follow a stumbling Sirius and proceed to pass out together after seeing a Patronus. For some reason in the hospital, Ron caresses a picture of Buckbeak while Hermione holds Harry's hand and goes back in time. Hermione shows off her arm again by throwing stuff with surprising accuracy. She should really become a chaser. First that punch with Draco, and now throwing stuff like that. If only she weren't afraid of flying. We rescue Buckbeak by tempting him with a fried chicken leg. Relatable. Lupin comes with flowers and gets ready to attack until Buckbeak saves us. For a good 5 minutes, I did not notice the Dementor tornado in the background. I'm not sure how Dumbledore managed to carry Harry, even though I know he's malnourished, he's still a 13-year-old boy. But during this whole escapade, I do unlock the Time Turner ability. There's a cute Harry and Hermione moment. Oh shit, they fell. The poor student in peril here gets his soul sucked out of him while a character taunts me from behind him. We save Sirius and get my next trophy for finishing year 3. Also, I appreciate how Hermione's first instinct was to explode the door. Again, cute little psycho. In a funny nod to the end of the movie, Harry goes to space on his new broom, with his tongue sticking out. Before I start the story mode for year 4, I buy some more characters and spells. For the start of year 4, a guy enters the Riddle House to see Peter and Barty Jr. giving Minnie Voldy a BJ. And shortly after that, it's time for the Quidditch World Cup with apparently Ginny and the twins. The campground actually looks pretty cool here. Oh, there's the twins and Ginny. We get to skip the Quidditch game and we get to play as the girls and save all the dumb boys in our party, aka the dumbasses in distress. Talking about dumbasses in distress, this student in peril got locked in an outhouse. Dude, I hope it doesn't stink in there right now. Harry gets trampled and there's a time skip. After the time skip, we get my first part of Crest for 4th year, after putting out 5 fires and during the search for Harry. The Dark Mark looks badass, at least as much as a Lego Sky can look badass. And then Fudge Amos attacks a 14-year-old girl and nobody says anything. Jack Sparrow comes to Hogwarts and dear god, look at Igor's hair. Damn, Madame Maxine. This intro is amazing. So far, it's definitely my favorite year that I've played. The twins, like the good big brother figures they are, teach me to embrace puberty and grow a beard at the ripe old age of 14. The champions are chosen, and instead of trying to get Harry out of the tournament, Dumbledore leaves him to his fate. Then again, that's what he's always done. Hagrid tries to be sneaky and show us something, so we go to his garden and just randomly have a scene from 2nd year, because I went there on a whim, but I do get an achievement for using the Time Turner and seeing a flashback from 1st year and an abusive aunt. After that random little detour, a Scarecrow becomes a Beyblade so he can boil an egg, birth a dragon, get rich, and get a gold brick. Back to the 4th year now, we third wheel on Hagrid's first date and see grown dragons. We birth another dragon and fulfill the nesting mother's dream of becoming a mom. It takes me about 5 minutes to remember Harry has an invisibility cloak so we can sneak past this other dragon. But we do eventually see all 4 breeds. We have a defense class and have to use, I think, Bombarda to save our classmates from Ron's incompetency yet again. We unlock the trophy Teacher's Pet for completing all the story lessons. But now we're able to bust locks open and have access to the boathouse and the Black Lake. So, our first thing we do is we save a kid from ending it all. Become a flying Pumpkinhead and get 2 characters until I finally go to the first task where Rita Skeeter takes a pic of Harry and Hermione and scares them both into falling to the arena. I still think they should have been in-game, not Hermione and Ron. That is the Harry Potter hill I will die on. I die 4 times in a row because of bullshit. We have another romantic harmony flight leading into one of the most frustrating sections in this whole game. After we survive mostly unscathed, we proceed to cosplay as a Ravenclaw to access a new common room, as well as the Hufflepuff one too. Jesus, talk about musical chairs. We forcibly evict a student in the name of money and gold bricks. We also create a big eagle to get a Hogwarts crest detector so we can purchase it in Diagon Alley and make this whole journey a little bit easier. In quick succession, I unlock my first Septiceye lock and find the library and get an achievement for running over characters 10 times on a buggy. In the prefix bathroom, I have some kind of Moaning Myrtle synchronized swimming hallucination that made me speechless. We also, in the prefix bathroom, destroy the habitat of a stained glass mermaid and almost kill her. Harry takes his bottom and torso off and takes a swim in his tidy whities to figure out the clue for the second task. Harry starts the second task while high on drugs Neville gave him and help from Sparkly Boy. Oh my god, Harry's feet are terrifying. Between the two of us, we save 3 of the 4 hostages. I finally found our 5th Golden Girl Percy and enter somewhere where I get several collectibles. Before I know it, it's time for the final task, the maze, again teaming up with pretty sparkly vampire boy. We bear hug our way to a graveyard where Pettigrew is on babysitting duty. For finishing year 4, I get 2 achievements, 1 for finishing the year and 1 for finishing the story mode. Meanwhile, Dumbledore gives Amos Diggory a recipe to rebuild his son because death is a delicate topic for LEGO. How Dumbledore never knows that his friend was missing all year, I'm not sure, or maybe he didn't care. Either way, it's sus. After several minutes of trying to use the correct spell because I bought too many at once, I get the achievement for using Glacius, I believe it was 20 times? And with that, it's time to begin. Free play. This is where it gets complicated. In quick succession, with my first redo of Year 1 Part 3, I have half the gold bricks collected, and I redo the Quidditch level under 5 minutes for the next trophy. Yeah, I still have to come back here a couple times later because I'm missing collectibles. I hunt down Tom Riddle for my dark magic user, and I can actually see the Basilisk this time. Oh wait, it disappeared, but I get my first full house crest for Hogwarts, so yay! Deciding to take a break from the free play, I run around Hogwarts aimlessly for a while on the hunt for collectibles. I go to the Great Hall for Colin Creevey, Molly Weasley, I did not see the Student in Peril for a good 5 minutes, a red brick, and a gold brick. Also, Tom's Boggart is hilarious. It's just normal Harry, and when he uses Ridiculous on him, it's just Harry dying. In second year, I accidentally casually Crucio Ginny in her own home. I did not intend for that to happen, but it was pretty funny. I got Vernon Dursley, who I'll need later in the clock tower. I got the multiplier trophy for collecting 10 million studs in 1 level. Again, after googling it, I make my way to Nocturne Alley to collect a few characters. I was so close several times to getting to Nocturne, I just was not quite there. I bought the twins and their Quidditch gear and got the achievement for getting the whole Gryffindor Quidditch team. And then I got Wonderful Weasleys for getting all of the Weasleys. I bought some more spells to prank people with, and I ended up getting all of them. I went to Dumbledore's office and I finally get a ghost character that I need for another trophy. Also, Dumbledore has a chest in his office that can only be opened with dark magic. Kinda suspicious, Dumble. Then the Sorting Hat gives me the bitch himself. He's also in the dark chest like Mad Eye was. Back in Diagon, I become Ghost Lily and try to scare people, but it doesn't work yet. But I finish up at Hogwarts and get the trophy for it. Back at the castle, I go to the secret room behind the defense classroom and get Draco and Quirrell, as well as another gold brick. After I get Quirrell, I go back to the Halloween chapter to get a trophy for defeating the troll as Professor Quirrell. I also get the Arachnophobia achievement for killing 20 spiders as Ron. I Crucio a Student in Peril in the bathroom to wake him up and make sure he doesn't get eaten by Dementors. As Tom Riddle, I go bowling with a massive snowball to get a crest, as well as a couple characters and another full shield. Now it's time for the part I'm dreading the most. Time to go to Gringotts to do the bonus levels. The most boring part, but I finish the first level in about 15 seconds or so and quickly get several more gold bricks. In this one, I try to jump from mushroom to mushroom with Ron getting in the way for so long I was ready to avada myself. He was getting in the way both physically and emotionally. My depth perception was failing me here. I was so close to giving up on everything in this game. But there are few things I hate more in video games than friendly characters literally pushing me off of platforms. After a good 20 minutes, I finally get to the button and Ron, the fucker, finally cooperates and I have 50 gold bricks left to collect. After a little more than an hour, I finish all the bonus levels in Gringotts and hopefully never have to visit those vaults again. I get Muggle Trouble for destroying enemies with Vernon Dursley, and Good Dog with destroying enemies as Fang, back to back. I also get Solid Snape, where he's in a barrel, which makes no sense. Can someone please explain this to me? I am at a loss for this logic. While playing the last chapter of Sorcerer's Stone with the Quirrell fight, I finally get Lumos Salim. As I'm about to do the chess set, I get Quirrellmort, as well as Ron in a sweater and the rest of the Hogwarts shield. With Dobby's plan level, I get my last True Wizard, and the trophy Stud Magnet. Now starts the part where I have to find the rest of the collectibles, because some I would never have guessed, like having to clean up after our domestic terrorism in the very first chapter to get the Hufflepuff crest. After I get the Hufflepuff house crest for the Floo Powder chapter in Chamber of Secrets, I only have 30 gold bricks left to get. After replaying the first year Quidditch match, I finally get the last 2 crests, and with it, a trophy for getting all the crests from year 1. It's finally starting to feel like I'm almost done with the game, even though I only have 24 out of 37 trophies so far. For Fall of the Spiders, I very carefully drive along like a lunatic until I complete the shield for that chapter and get the Crest Collector trophy for 2nd year. After trying upwards of a dozen times trying to get a frog through checkpoints, I finally get the last crest in Dementor's Kiss and the trophy for getting all year 3 crests. The rate of trophy collection is starting to pick up, thankfully. After finishing the free play of the 2nd task, I have only 20 gold bricks, 1 shield, 6 students in peril, and 4 red bricks left, as well as 22 character tokens and a bonus level, as well as a few trophies for certain levels. I get the trophy for getting all the crests in year 4. As I'm getting the red brick for character token collector, I'm realizing I should have explored the castle before replaying each level in the free play. I'll have to do that in years 5 through 7, I suppose. Spoilers, I didn't end up doing it like that. The Slytherin dorms are so cool. They have a pool inside their rooms, like, goddamn, you spoiled brats. Oh, there you are, Seamus. As I was checking the whole castle for red bricks, I realized I'd never been to the Owlry yet, and alas, that's where the last brick is, which earns me another trophy. With the purchase of Rita Skeeter, I have another trophy completed for having all the Animagi characters. Damn it, I have to go back to Gringotts for the builder tutorials. Oh, actually, those weren't too bad. And I got another trophy for it. After writing Frog's Head again, I get another gold brick. And after googling it, I found these 2 banners I'd never seen before and saved the last student in peril, thus getting another trophy, as well as another gold brick. I get 4 more gold bricks from repairing 4 scenes from years 1 through 4, meaning I have 1 last gold brick somewhere back at Hogwarts. The final brick is in Hagrid's garden above the cauldron, meaning another trophy. Now it's time to buy the last 2 available characters before I go to Borgin and Burke's in Nocturne for the bonus level. I've seen people saying they don't like the bonus level, but I actually was okay with it. We play during the Halloween night the Voldy attacks the Potters, which is a cool concept. I just wreak havoc on the streets and have to get a million studs without multiplier. But I did drive a car as him, which was hilarious, and I got to see a cool environment. But man, my wrist was hurting by the end of the level after spamming the buttons to just destroy everything. Not the most creative level, but I liked seeing the new environments. The Lego reimagining of Lily dying and Harry getting the scar was both funny but also terribly sad. After I finished the bonus level, I was finally able to buy Snakeface himself. With the purchase of Lord Voldemort, I complete my Voldy collection and get another trophy. I only have a few more to unlock. Oh good, there's the 100% completion trophy. I fly through the obstacle course, and Voldy becomes his own worst enemy, and isn't that just relatable? After making our way to the graveyard, after seeing Crumb doing more bush parkour, I play Visvaldi and defeat Harry, thus getting my last trophy I need to earn my first platinum trophy. That was a chaotic last trophy to get, but I did it, and I got it, and I'm done. Wait, I still have another game to go. Crud. Getting through years 1 through 4 took me about 36 hours, and that doesn't even count how long it took me to edit this motherfucking video, so please like this video and subscribe. It would mean a lot and show that my hard work was worth it. Please subscribe for more games from childhood, for more platinum trophies, with my sarcastic, dry, dark commentary. Here we go with years 5 through 7. Going into years 5 through 7, I'm approaching this platinum trophy with a new strategy. Actually having a strategy. So LEGO Harry Potter years 5 through 7 has 50 achievements. Or trophies. I'm used to playing on Steam. So we start with Dudley and his gang getting very dizzy, and holy shit, that's kind of dark for LEGO. I immediately get a character token, not even 2 minutes in, then immediately turn motion blur off because that's a little bit nauseating. After a nightmare, Harry wakes to see part of the Order of the Phoenix standing over him, watching him sleep. We leave the Dursleys on brooms in clear view of Muggles when Tonks' clumsiness catches up to her. After turning on 5 sprinklers, I'm rewarded with the groundskeeper's next 7 paychecks. We forcibly eject Moody from the fountain and summon 12 Grimmauld Place, and oh dear the glitches, Jesus fucking Christ, Molly, back up. At the Ministry for Harry's hearing, I decide he's already fucked, so might as well use my wand while I can. While Fudge and Umbridge suck here, I agree with him that Dumbledore is crazy. I am a Dumbledore hater, in case you didn't tell. Why is there a massive image of the Minister of Magic? He's not a king. No kings, you know what I mean? Have I ever mentioned how I hate the design of the Ministry? The design itself is cool, I just hate all the bricks and like the red and stuff together. It's just, I don't know, something about it makes my brain dislike it. On the way to the Shame of a Trial, we see Fudge and his kitchen cabinet member Lucius whispering in his ear. By finishing the first chapter, I get my first story-related trophy as well as my first gold brick. For this game, it'll seem like there's a lot more trophies than the previous game, but most of them are story-related. Going into the future real estate for Weasley's Wizards Wheezes, I saved my first student in peril. Outside the Leaky, I asked the traffic lights if it'll be alright, but it said I don't know. These students in peril are found in the weirdest places. For some reason, Muggle Orphan is a character here. Look at those birds on the train, they have udders. Is that Luna? We get to the Great Hall and oh my god, Ron, slow the fuck down. Umbridge, in our first class, replaces our textbooks with her fanfiction she's been writing. Then when nobody reads it, bans defense against the dark art spells, and we can't use the spells we learned in years 1 through 4 for the entirety of this year. After feeding the Thestrals, Harry learns that Luna is a bit odd. But that's why I love her. I have a girl crush on Luna Lovegood. The way that Harry, Ron, and Hermione are presented with the idea of Dumbledore's army is really funny, but also has some slightly weird implications with Sirius having a list of students. Harry becomes a puppeteer and performs a mini rendition of him beating up Voldemort. Potter Puppet Pals who? For finishing the Snowy Hogsmeade chapter, I get another trophy. They go to the Room of Requirement to learn a new mechanic, how to duel. Because of that, I get a gold brick for giving my brain a new wrinkle. Why is Cho looking at a picture of Cedric's dead body? I don't understand Lego. Sometimes it's so sensitive about death, and then other times it has, surprisingly morbid pictures of death. And I appreciate it. Oh my god, if I don't move for a while, Hermione will plop herself down on the ground and read her book. While waiting to see her read, I decided to go ahead and get the trophy for not moving for 5 minutes. Harry has a dream of Arthur Weasley getting so high he passes out. Snape then tries to teach Harry Occlumency, which introduces the spell Focus, which was made specifically for this game, and which is also something often difficult to do for someone with mental illness. At the end of that chapter, I get another story-related trophy. After putting myself in the mindset of Ebenezer Scrooge by destroying Christmas, I get an important character, Arthur Weasley. I'll need him later to fix blue objects with for collectibles, as well as trophies, I believe? I don't know, editing me, am I wrong? After Bellatrix escapes Azkaban and the game devs remind us it's a Lego game, we ask the age-old question, did Santa eat the cake? Jesus Christ, Umbridge just smile when they find us. It's actually terrifying. I hate how they had the character tokens for purchasing and for selecting them. It's hard to see and it's so fast you can hardly understand what character you're looking at before it disappears. That's my biggest gripe about this game, honestly. We once again visit Hagrid and he once again endangers us by taking us to the Forbidden Forest, this time to meet his brother. At least the centaurs are getting onto him about it. Not only are the locals dangerous, but Hagrid puts Hermione in direct trouble with his giant brother abducts her and probably breaking at least one rib. But I do befriend Guap and get a gold brick, so thanks for the sacrifice, Hermione. Taking one for the team. We have another lesson with Snape to shield our minds, but we Uno reverse him, giving us a chance to play as 3 of the Marauders for some reason. They bully Snape, and after seeing one of his most traumatic experiences, Harry finally learns focus for himself. Umbridge makes a shush gesture that I thought was something else, but then we have a fun interlude as the Weasley twins, where we get the ability to use Weasley's Wizard Wheezes boxes. Beat me up, Georgie. After their daring escape, Harry gets a vision of Sirius getting tortured at the Department of Mysteries. Hermione once again shows she's a little psycho by leading Umbridge to the Centaurs, where they get a sick headshot before she starts some serious gymnastics. After that, I get another trophy for finishing the chapter. 6 underage school kids arrive at the Department of Mysteries to look for Harry's godfather. This could have been avoided if Harry had only opened Sirius's present and used the two-way mirror. I don't even know how to describe this. I have no words. Sirius gets one last Death Eater punch in before his cousin AKs him. Harry accidentally dismembers him as he falls through the veil, which would be even more traumatic in real life. Dumblefuck shows up just in time to save the day, like always. Harry momentarily gets possessed, but eventually fights it, making Voldemort cry. But I guess his mini-stroke was worth it because the ministers saw it and I got 2 trophies out of it, as well as a couple gold bricks. We start year 6 with a cute new loading screen and a bridge destruction. I wonder if there was anyone who saw that coming in a Final Destination situation. Harry, I don't blame you for not wanting to touch old man skin, especially a decaying hand. We convinced Slughorn to come out of retirement, selling our body and influence potential. Slughorn is really just an older Lockhart if you think about it. After escaping WWW, the trio follows Draco and co, but Ron has trouble doing a pull-up, which, relatable. I get a trophy for finishing the first chapter of year 6. After Draco gives us a concussion and broken nose, we are rescued by both Luna and her Spectre Specs. I absolutely love this mechanic, by the way. In Hogwarts, I just had to pause for a second to laugh at Draco and his sneaking around. That's such a cute little detail. In Potions class, Harry uses a sus book to win some Irish juice. There's a trophy to use a Quibbler distributor 25 times, so while I probably could have gotten it throughout the whole game, I decided to spend a few minutes going back and forth with this one to get it, and I got it with only about 2 minutes using all 3 characters at once. All 3 of them wearing the glasses at the same time is so weird looking. Dumbledore takes some earwax out of his ancient ass ears so Harry can seal memories of a young Tom Riddle. They also show Slughorn licking his lips with lip sound. Ugh. Hermione at Slughorn's Christmas party tries to avoid McLaggen so she can canoodle. I forget I wrote this. So she can canoodle with Draco. Give me your favorite Hermione fix now. Dumbledore shows us a massive old booger of Slughorns because Harry hasn't schmoozed enough for Dumbledore's liking. Ron eats some date rape chocolate, so we have to go to Slughorn for an antidote. After being cured and hiding an apparent boner, Ron immediately gets poisoned again. Again, he's just not ready for adult drinks. What is it with years 5 through 7 and tongues? Anyway, Harry shows immaturity by using an unknown spell on a fellow underage classmate. Ginny and Harry kiss super awkwardly, and I get another trophy for finishing a chapter, as well as a couple gold bricks. Harry takes his Irish juice, and after hunting Slughorn down, flirts with him by doing a sick handshake and going on a date to see a spider cadaver, giving him a courting gift of acromantula venom. Pleased with how our date went, Sluggy agrees to finally give us some of his dandruff, and with it, another plot-related trophy. Harry dumps Slug's memories and the pensieve, and we learn how many Horcruxes Voldemort made. Dumbledore drinks the potion to get the locket Horcrux, and Draco pulls a Darth Vader and cuts off his adversary's hand, thus becoming the master of the Elder Wand unknowingly. Snape reveals he's the Half-Blood Prince. He and Bellatrix walk off into the fiery forest, on a romantic walk, and I get 2 trophies, one for finishing the chapter and one for finishing the year. Holy shit, the way they showed how Dumbledore's body landed was insane. Again with the tongue! Regulus's tongue! Before I joined Mad Eye to go to the Battle of the Seven Potters, I purchased the Times New Multiplier from Money Collection to make things easier for myself. We start year 7 off with our relatives taking probably the only toilet in the house. Mad Eye decides one of the last things he'll ever do is teach us how to make instant polyjuice. The way they make the different decoys react to Essence of Harry is so good and accurate to the movie. Hagrid shows that he hasn't kept Sirius's motorcycle in tip-top shape, again showing he's irresponsible. After we get to the Burrow, Dumbledore's will is read, and we unlock a new ability, the Deluminator, and get a trophy for it. Another perk we get is Hermione's bag of goodies. The wedding of 2 of the most attractive people in the franchise is interrupted by Bellatrix being the striptease in the wedding cake. Some of these things I've written down is just, I forget about them. After that disaster of a wedding, I get a trophy and unlock Apparition, earning yet another trophy. I know we're fighting Dolohov, but is the other one Avery? We break into the Ministry of Magic using decoy detonators. We make everyone collectively shit their pants in surprise. Ron, get off the violin! Are you kidding me right now, Ronald? We escape with the Horcrux in an awkward moment and a new trophy. I do have to say though, I like this version of the fight better than the one I played on the Xbox 360. Harry and Hermione recreate the iconic dance scene in the tent to Oh Children. After they're both depressed again, I decide to check on my friends with the Marauders map to see how Hogwarts has changed, thus getting the one missable trophy in this whole game. The way they temporarily take a character out of the game is so funny and frequently results in them having a concussion. Ron the Traitor comes back, even though I think I skipped when he left, and saves the day in his brown tidy-whities. Ron destroys the locket Horcrux and earns a trophy for me. I will never understand why Hermione ended up with Ron in the end. Like, their personalities clash so much, and he's shown that as he gets older, he gets less dependable. We make a stop at the Lovegood house to learn about the Deathly Hallows symbol, but Xenophilius betrays us to try and get his daughter back, which is totally understandable because I too would betray everyone for Luna. He just does it in a very weird way. And with that sad ending to the chapter, I get another trophy. Some snatchers get us, and oh dear Harry, you don't look like yourself. At Malfoy Manor, I discover that if I press X, then press square, I can do somersaults. After FaceTiming Aberforth, Dumbledore, and Dobby, we get to Hermione before she can be carved into. Unfortunately, this is the last time Dobby will be able to rescue Harry Potter because he got crushed by fish and other debris, but with Dobby's death comes 2 trophies. Besides, we'll see him again when we get his character token. Can I just say that it's ridiculous that Dumbledore gets this insane, expensive tomb? Deathly Hallows Part 2 starts with mutual coercion and a traumatic cosplay for Hermione. And again with the tongue thing, this time because of Grifhook's betrayal. The way they show death is so jarring, and oh god, I'm controlling the dragon. We escape and get a trophy, called That's Unfortunate, which is very much an understatement. Harry has a Voldy vision, revealing the diadem is at Hogwarts, and that he knows the trio is hunting them down. We apparate to Hogsmeade, and after we set off the caterwauling charm, we meet up with the better Dumbledore brother. Ariana returns with a sexy Neville, and we gather the troops. We duel Lucaris and Snape, or McGonagall just boos at him, and a giant Voldy head reminds everyone that I'm undesirable number 1. Ron and Hermione go to the Chamber of Secrets on the world's worst first date. Ew, they kiss and hold hands. With the explosion of the bridge, that's another trophy down. Fiendfire goes crazy, and how the hell did the Ford Anglia get in here? With the destruction of the diadem, that leaves 2 Horcruxes left and the gaining of a trophy. Voldemort's reaction to Snape eating the last cookie is very understandable in my opinion, because I too am a cookie fiend. This is yet another scene where I have no words for, but it definitely gave the kick the bucket a double meaning. This is a very weird sequence of flashbacks, and Jesus fucking Christ, Snape's reaction to Harry having to die is a bit over the top for their relationship. The scene is touching, but also that's a shocking way to find out Lupin died. Neville pulls the sword of Gryffindor from the turd hat of Slytherin. With the defeat of Bellatrix, I get her character token to buy later for a dark magic character in free play. And then I just get Lord Voldemort casually with no fanfare apparently. Jesus Christ, Voldy's death was crazy. Oh, Filch, you've got your work cut out for you. With Voldy's death, I get a trophy for finishing the chapter and for finishing the story mode. I also officially have half the gold bricks. 19 years later, some mini Weasleys, Potters, and Malfoy go off to Hogwarts. I'm glad they didn't show Fred's death. I think in an interview, the TERF author of the book said Fred was the only character she regretted killing. I do wish they'd shown Teddy Lupin in the epilogue, but they didn't show him in the movie either, so can't really be mad about it. I hate this character token purchase menu so much, but I did get the halfway there trophy. Again, I appreciate that Nearly Headless Nick tells us how many collectibles are left to collect in each place in Hogwarts. I go to the Department of Mysteries in 5th year and defeat Bellatrix as Sirius, only to die again, but at least I got another trophy for delaying my death by a minute. I go to the start of Order of the Phoenix and accidentally run over Fang and almost cried and considered going to confessional. I have to replay that level again to get the Ravenclaw crest, and wow, what a combo. I run around Nocturne, Hogwarts, and get the Neville Bellatrix duel out of the way. After that trophy, I am 71.4% done with the game and only need 3 red bricks, 21 students in peril, 52, possibly 53 with a bonus, gold bricks, and 22 more full Hogwarts shields, as well as 13 more trophies. I also have purchased all the spells at the Weasley Twins shop. I assume they count towards 100% for the game. After a few tries, I used Imperius on a couple people to get a crest. Before going in order again, like I like to do, I go to Gringotts to get a goblin character token for their use of keys. Why do they keep putting almost naked Ron with me when I play as Bellatrix? What the fuck? After expanding my human trafficking to consist of also goblin trafficking, I go back to the storyboard and see the only thing I have achieved for a giant virtuoso is getting True Wizard, and I have a tiny meltdown in my brain. Oh great, they've got both Underwear Ron and Underwear Harry now. Then, as you can see, the emulator I'm using glitched, but I got the trophy for having 1 billion studs. I know you can't tell, but I swear that's what this is. Look, here's some proof. Is Dumbledore asleep, or is he really struggling to take a shit? I finally get the trophy for killing 30 redcaps. At the Burrow, I get Bill Weasley, the handsome son of a bitch. I suffer through the bonus level for a trophy for 40 minutes, and I hate this game for a short while. We once again give a spider a colonoscopy on a second date with Slughorn. In the Ministry of Magic, I missed the Slytherin crest, so I'll have to do the chapter again to get something at the very end. Using Defendo feels like drawing the Disney Channel logo, I swear to God. Motherfucker, I missed it again! In order to get the Ravenclaw crest, we have to watch the ghosts of Godric's Hollow get down and dirty, and their hip thrusting makes me wonder, how do LEGO characters reproduce? These music boxes are actually terrifying. Oh my god, Bellatrix rides the broom's side saddle? Or is that the case for all the characters with skirts? For once, this is actually a student peril, and at the end of this chapter, I only have 3 more gold bricks left to find. After half a dozen tries, I finally get the last crest, and thus all the shields for years 5 through 7. I used the last few Weasleys to open Weez's boxes to get this game's Weasley trophy. Oh, the other Death Eater in the cafe was Raoul. In the cafe, I get 4 more characters and my last golden brick. Oh Jesus, I was not expecting a quick Quidditch level, but I did get an extra gold brick and 3 more characters, meaning I only have 5 left. I purchased all the Order members and all the evil characters and get 2 consecutive trophies. After a few minutes of changing Harry's clothes, I get the trophy for killing all variations of Harry as Voldemort. After buying 3 of the twins, I get 2 trophies. One for buying all the character tokens where they wear pajamas, and another for every character with a pet. Oh my god, of course the last characters I'm missing were in the one room. I was like, nah, it's not worth checking there. With my purchase of my final 2 characters, I get my final 4 trophies. Getting all the members of the DA, all the witches, completing 100% of the game, and the Platinum Trophy, which came softly and calmly with no fanfare. And with that, I have earned my 2nd Platinum. This was a really fun experience, and I'm glad I finally got to play these games. Tell me down in the comments which Platinums you think I should do for either the PS3 or any of the games on PlayStation Plus. So please like this video and subscribe, because I spent almost 100 hours working on this between getting the actual trophies and editing it. I am dead.